My girlfriend eats popcorn by sticking out her tongue and slurping it up like a frog, and I think it might actually be ruining our relationship. So my girlfriend eats popcorn by frogging it, which means she picks up a handful, brings it up to her mouth and sticks out her tongue to quickly pull pieces into her mouth. The first time I saw her do this I was very confused and a little put off. I asked her what she was doing and she just said, "I'm frogging it." I thought it was kinda cute, if a little silly, but didn't think much else of it at the time. I did not realize that she was utterly incapable of eating popcorn in any other way. I think it's gross and weird. It seems silly, but the sounds and visuals are very childlike to me, which is very off-putting, especially because when she frogs it she'll often giggle in a very unnaturally for her, high-pitched way if she drops a piece of popcorn or one falls off her tongue while she does it. She already isn't the most mature person who ever lived, and she definitely leans into being pretty quirky, which I really like about her, but can also kinda slip into childishness. I know that watching New Girl was very formative to her, so I don't know if the whole frogging it thing is from that show or whatever. I've asked her to please eat popcorn like a normal person around me, but she rolls her eyes and tells me that I don't have a say in how she eats anything. Which is fair in theory, but listening to her mouth smacking for 45+ minutes every time we watch TV or a movie, a couple times a week, is beginning to have an adverse effect on my mental health. I'm at the end of my rope here. There is only so much frogging a man can take. Will I be the jerk if I unequivocally tell her she can't do her hellish popcorn ritual around me? She can do it all she wants when I'm not in the room, I just can't deal with hearing it anymore. Some of Oops comments. Commenter, how do you think you're going to enforce this? She has already told you that you can't tell her how to eat. I don't know why you're so fixated on this, and I don't know why she thinks it's necessary to eat that way. OP, that's fair. Honestly, I'm not sure how I would enforce that. I think the fixation somewhat comes from the mouth sounds. I have a bit of misophonia, and the lip smacking she does is awful to listen to. As for why she insists on eating that way, I have no idea. The most generous interpretation I have is that she just really has fun doing it and doesn't want to stop. The most uncharitable view is that she's purposefully doing it to annoy me, but that's incredibly unlike her, so I wouldn't bet on that. Commenter number 2, it seems that popcorn, and how she eats it, is more important to each of you than the relationship. That's okay. Not everyone is meant to be together. OP, I get where you're coming from saying that we're incompatible. I know that this is a really common thing to say, but our relationship is good outside of this. We have fun together and have adventures and love each other. She's genuinely my favorite person to be around, and I love almost everything about her. She's incredibly smart, is a super talented artist, and has a magnetic personality. I can't speak for her, but I think she feels the same way, and I don't think that either of us consider this something that we'd break up over. I really appreciate your comment. Commenter number 3, you're the jerk. She's just eating in a way that makes her happy. If you hate it so much you can leave when she does it. OP, I understand where you're coming from, but it's not as simple as just leaving the room when she does it. It only bothers me when she does it while we're watching TV together. We're usually cuddling or right next to each other. We both really like spending time with each other like this and would both be pretty bummed if we had to cut it out completely. One of the top commenters, sounds like you need a less interesting girlfriend. Let her be her true self, stop trying to dim her light. OP, I definitely don't want to dim her light, I just want her to stop doing this one thing around me. I get how it might read like I don't like her or that I want her to change. I'm fine with her frogging it as long as I'm not there. Commenter, you're the jerk because if you think someone is immature and you want to change them, you shouldn't be with them. You describe your girlfriend as quirky in a way that comes off as really condescending and not at all affectionate. If you have misophonia, perhaps popcorn shouldn't be part of shared movie rituals because it is a noisy food, but you needn't dictate how she enjoys it when she does eat it. OP, oof, I definitely don't want to be condescending. I just wanted to explain that I don't think she's doing this out of malice or even putting that much thought into it at all. I can see how my post reads like I don't much like her. Be assured that I do really love her. I think I need to communicate that to her better. I really appreciate your comment. Another top commenter, finds quirky girl to date, thinks it's cute, then immediately tries to get her to stop being quirky. Just go find someone you actually like, instead of trying to snuff the fire out of this one. OP, I mean, do I encourage her quirky habits a lot? I primarily finance her different art stuff, have a ton of fun listening to her explain obscure YouTube drama. I see her in every performance I can. I drive her places because she doesn't have a license. I listen to her random morning singing, and I love the way that she sees the world. I definitely get how people are getting the impression that I don't like my girlfriend, though. I really didn't mean for my post to come across like that because I love my girlfriend more than anything in the world. Edit, 1 hour later, just coming in to clear up some things. 1. Misophonia. Yes, I have misophonia, but it's not the primary driver of my frustration, which is how this situation keeps repeating itself. 2. My girlfriend. I do actually love my girlfriend a lot. I know it really doesn't seem like it, and I totally get why people think I don't deserve her, but I really do think she's the greatest woman in the world. I also don't think she's doing this to upset me, or why this is our hill to die on. 3. Alternative snacks. I do always have alternate snacks like pretzel rolls, mixed nuts, berries or fruit, chips, all that good stuff. These are all foods that my girlfriend loves and that I take care in providing. She'll still choose popcorn over these foods, as is her right, but also that is kind of frustrating for me personally. 4. Overreaction. Yep. I definitely think I've let this build up for too long without having a proper sit-down conversation with my girlfriend. I'm going to take the rest of the day to really go through my thoughts and figure out what I'm actually feeling and how to properly convey that to my girlfriend in a way that doesn't make her feel that I think less of her or want to change her. When she gets home this evening, we'll talk it out. Thank you to everyone who commented and messaged. You all gave me some great perspective and I really appreciate it. I 100% would be wrong to dictate what my girlfriend can do, and I've definitely been approaching this in the wrong way. Update, 11 hours later. First, I'd like to again thank everyone for their comments. I didn't respond to all of them, but I did read many of them and I appreciate all of them. A couple more clarifications from things I saw in the comments. I'm 26, and my girlfriend is 28. I forgot to put that in my original post. Thankfully, I am not a 40-year-old shocked at the immaturity of his 18-year-old girlfriend or anything like that. Several commenters projected that onto this situation. 2. My girlfriend can technically drive, but she doesn't have a license. That's why I drive her around. If there's one thing she hates more than driving, it's breaking the law. 3. I finance her hobbies because I make more than her. We equally share bills and rent, but I pay for most things outside of that. She's got debts to pay off and savings to build up, and anything I can do to make that easier I want to do. Now onto the actual update. After my girlfriend got home from work and had a chance to catch her breath and settle in, I sat her down and we had a really good conversation. Here's the short version. She didn't realize how much her frogging it bothered me, and had I explained that better and in a less annoyed tone, she would have stopped a long time ago. Many moments during our relationship that I chalked up to her being immature or childish were her intentionally messing with me. In retrospect, that makes a lot of sense. She's going to now default to assuming I'm serious rather than joking, and I'm going to be more clear when I am being serious. When I showed her this post, she agreed that the way I wrote it makes me sound like a controlling jerk who hates his girlfriend. She doesn't think I represented the story, her, or myself in a very accurate or coherent way, and I have to agree there. I promise I'm a vaguely normal guy most of the time. She was delighted that people were planning on adopting the term frogging it, and has been very happily parading around calling herself a food innovator and threatening to quit her job and become a food blogger. She also says to the people offering to take her off my hands that she respectfully declines, but if you're ever in Orlando, I think we're going to be okay. We're removing popcorn from our movie nights but not our cupboards or our hearts. Ha! We're going to look into some couples counseling to better our communication, and I'm going to reach out to my former psychiatrist and therapist to see if either of them have someone to recommend for individual therapy. Thank you again to everyone who lent me their time and energy.